See how long it takes for this to go live on YouTube. Give me a second. There's my notification. Come on. Why it takes so long? There is such a delay. Come on, YouTube. Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Welcome, welcome. You see anything in the auction, please feel free to ask me if there's anything that you want to see. And also in my notes, I give examples of what I have in my store. Hey, Bud Files on YouTube. I'm streaming in both platforms, so I hope everybody can hear me. Okay, so the first book I have, I'm going into the action suspense category first. I don't go in any specific order, so it is what it is. So we will pin. Okay, so this one here is called Aftershocks. It's a colonization by Harry Turtledove. This is a 2002 copyright. It's book 3 in a colonization series. And if I do find the series, I will bring them out and put them together. So this one is World War II has evolved into decades of epic struggles and rebellions targeting the aliens known as the race. As the 1600s begin, one of the Earth's great powers launches a nuclear strike against the race's colonization fleet, and the merciless invaders find themselves confronting a far more complex and challenging species than any they have encountered before. Ultimately, only superior firepower may keep Earth under the Empire's control, or it may destroy the world. While uprisings and aftershocks of war shake the planet, one nation's plots is a stunning counterattack. So if there's anything you want to see, the conditions of the book, it is here. And we will start the auction. So I hope everybody's having good weather. We finally got rain that we needed. We should be getting some rain here in a little bit too. So see who I missed coming in. I'm going to try to say hi to everybody. I'm practicing keeping my typing skills up, so I'm going to tag. Just for that reason. Second stash. And if there's any books that you're interested in and you want to make a deal with me, you can let me know that too. Oops, I spelled that person's name wrong. And Bronze Dragon. I love how Whatnot changes my letters. Sometimes these words are hysterical. Bronze Dragon's a cool name. I'm glad I can read the chat now on YouTube too. there because I don't want to miss people. Okay, so the second book we have, this one here is called Dalton Fury, Tier 1 Wild. This over here. And this is in really good condition. And this is from 2013. And don't forget, if you're interested in these books, you can contact me later too. And this says you can send me a private message and say, hey, there's a book I'm interested in, and we'll figure it out. The most wanted man in the world, American Al-Qaeda commander D. Al-Amariki and his handpicked team of terrorist operatives have acquired stores of Russian-built shoulder-fire surface-to-air missiles from ex-Libyan spies in Cairo. Their mission is to infiltrate the United States to take down the American aircraft. The country's best are tasked with stopping them, but when a SEAL Team 6 mission to take down the Al-Amariki goes wrong, Racer and his Delta Force team find themselves front and centers as Amariki and his terrorists work their way closer to American and time is running out. So this is like one of those war type books. And it's from 2013. And we are going to start this one at 2. There are lots of sales going on tonight for sure across the Whatnot platform. But I want to thank everybody that gets to stop in and say hello. User AE, I have seen your name many times. Are you somebody hiding Incognito? Welcome in. Okay, so the next book we have is another action and suspense. This is actually a standalone. William Johnston does series, but this one is actually one of his standalone books. And it's with J.A. Johnston. And it is Day of Independence. And it is in really good condition. This is from 2014. And this is Liberty or Die for It. 100 years ago, American patriots picked up rifles and fought against British tyranny. That was Boston. There, the enemy was King George III and his British troops. Now in Last Chance, Texas, and the Big Bend River country, it's Abraham Hacker, ruthless cattle baron, who will slaughter anyone who tries to lay claim to the fertile land and everything on it. For Last Chance, freedom is under siege, one violent act at a time, until wounded Texas Ranger Hank Cannon arrives in town, seeing the terrorized townfolk. Cannon is ready to start a second revolution. It's going to take a lot of guts, but one way or the other, Cannon is out to set Last Chance free with bullets, blood, and willingness to kill or die for the American right of freedom. So that is that book, and it will start $2. Well, welcome in, user. Welcome in 501st Legion. Seems funny calling somebody user. That sounds terrible. Okay. So next we have, and leave me a comment somewhere what kind of genres you like. Because I try to mix it up every week and have more than one. So the next one we have, this is called Promise the Earth, the stunning novel of a struggle for Palestine as a nation and battles to be won by Clive Irving. This is definitely an older book. This is 1983. It's got a little bit of stainage to it because it's been loved. It says, in Palestine, the holiest and most fought-over strip of land on earth, beginning in the explosive years of World War I, they thrust themselves into the center of blood and guts conflict, whose raging fire we still feel today. Asia Kobylinski is a young Jewish deserter from the Russian army with a fierce passion to create a Jewish homeland at any price, even if it means conspiring with Lawrence of Arabia. Owen Capax is a cool, ruthless agent of British imperialism who serves as a deadly policy that sets Arab against Jew and the rival that can never be resolved. Tessa Braun is the elegant lady of the world who discovers a shocking web of bloodlust and intrigue. They come together in a bitter conflict of cultures that will shake the world. So that is in this book. Hey, Mr. Window. And then the next book we have, this one is called 7 Days in May. It is a Fletcher, Nebel, and Charles W. Bailey II book. It's a soon-to-be major motion picture, so they must have turned it into a movie. And this was from 1963. The most daring coup in history. Gentleman Jim Scott was a brilliant magnetic general. Like a lot of people, he believed the president was ruining the country, and like anyone else, he had the power to do something about it, something unprecedented and terrifying. Colonel Jiggs Casey was the Marine who accidentally stumbled onto the plot. At first, he refused to believe it, then he risked his life and career to inform the president. Lyman Johnson was president of the United States. By the time he was finally able to convince himself of the appalling truth, he had only 7 days left to stop a brilliant, seemingly irresistible military plot to seize control of the government of the United States. A fascinating, chilling masterpiece. So that is that book. And like I always say, I make sure all the pages are there so you have the entire story. And I have plenty to shop from in my store too. So if you want to look in the shop, you can. So the next book we have is Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card. It says Author's Definitive Edition. Interesting. From 1991. It's got a little bit of wear on the book because, of course, it is used. And it says, Speaker for the Dead, in the aftermath of this terrible war, Ender Wiggin disappeared, and a powerful voice arose, the speaker for the dead who told the true story of the Bugger War. Now, long years later, a second alien race has been discovered, but again, the alien ways are strange and frightening. Again, humans die, and it's only the speaker for the dead, who is also Ender Wiggin, the xenocide, who has the courage to confront the mystery and the truth. So there is that book. Should have brought some water down. I forgot to. Hey, Tupac, how are you doing? How's things going for you? Can you hear me okay? So the next book we have this is called Dead of the Night by Randy Wainwright. Even the cover is cool. It's definitely got some age to it. It is from 2005. It says it starts with a simple request. Check up on the mysteriously reclusive biologist brother of an old friend. But what Doc Ford stumbles upon in the doctor's secluded island home is a nightmare. He has long hanged himself, and his body is the host to a rare strain of feeding, breathing parasites. It's not an accident, neither is the fact that the flesh eaters are multiplying in the ancestral Florida waters. A biological catastrophe has arrived, and only Doc Ford can find out why and stop it from spreading further. You. That sounds like a conspiracy. Well, hello, Hannah. Hey, JC. Check out the buy it now, and if there's anything you want to see in the auction, please feel free to let me know. If it's in the buy it now, I have to show it in the next sale. But I will show the conditions of the books and everything before purchases and things. And I don't go in any specific order. So you can just let me know if you want to see something specific. Hey, Brayden. Welcome, welcome. So the next book we have after Dead of Night, which does look interesting, is the book called And Then You Die by Iris Johansen. She was the only witness left alive. Definitely a used book. It's got some smudgings in somewhere, and I think that's a stamp. Somebody stamped the letter B on it. But you can tell it's used and aged. And this is from 1998. It says Bess Grady has heard the unmistakable sound before. She knows what it means, but not even the eerie lament of the howling dogs can prepare her for what has taken place in this small village. The seasoned photojournalist has been sent there on an easy assignment, and now she has stumbled upon something that she has never meant to see. Amid chaos and fear, she joins forces with an intimidating stranger, a man whose alliances are unclear, but whose methods have a way of leaving bodies in his wake. For what she has witnessed is the only stage in a plan of terror that may kill us all, and she has no choice to stop it or die trying. So that is that book. And of course, the ones that have the dark colors and speckles and stuff, I always start them for $1. The next book we have is called The Rainmaker by John Grisham. Now a major motion picture from Paramount Pictures and Constellation Films. This is what the book looks like. It's got a little crease right there. It's from 1997. And it says, it's summer in Memphis. The sweat is sticking to Rudy Baylor's shirt, and creditors are nipping at his heels. Once he had aspirations of breezing through law school and punching his ticket to the good life. Now he doesn't have a job or a prayer except one, an insurance dispute that leaves the family devastated and opens the door for a lawsuit, if Rudy can find a way to file it. By the time Rudy gets to court, a heavyweight corporate defense team is there to meet him, and suddenly he's in over his head, plunged into a nightmare of lies and legal maneuverings. A case that started small is exploding into thunderous million-dollar war of nerve, skill, and outright violence. A fight that could cost one young lawyer his life or turn him into the biggest rainmaker in the land. And this will start at 2. Hey, Pratt, welcome in. The last book I have in the action and suspense is called Houses of Stone by Barbara Michaels. It's got a little tear right there, but it's a used book. It definitely used, little aged, from 1993. And it says, it was a career-making discovery for English professor Karen Holloway, a battered, faded manuscript, the last masterpiece of the 19th century poet called Ismen. Almost obsessively, Karen delves into her research to unmask the woman behind the mysterious name, but the clues she seeks are hidden in the poet's own words as the ghost story unfolds before her, a tormented voice from the past. So that sounds creepy. Hey, real and chairs. How are you two doing this evening? Real reg. I don't get it. Real regular gray. I don't know. It means something to you, though. And I love chairs. That's cute, too. Try to greet everybody. Try to be hospitable. Okay. So the next set, after action suspense, we go into romance books. So we move these out of the way. And the first one I have is this one. It's called Prince Incognito. It is actually a silhouette romance. And it's by Linda Goodnight. This is a condition of the book. And this is from 2006. And this is what it's about. Once upon a time, a prince. Forced to take a little R&R after a few too many investigative mishaps, P.I. Carly Carpenter initially viewed her vacation as punishment. Then she met blonde god Luke Gardner, a man so confident yet mysterious that Carly's inquisitive radar went into overdrive. Spending time in Luke's arms was no hardship, but learning about his royal standing was both a blessing and a curse. Here was the story she needed to prove her investigative worth. But by revealing that Luke was the European prince who'd gone AWOL, she'd likely lose him forever. And when he left, he'd take her finally unguarded heart with him. So that is the first romance book. Hey, Shamir, welcome in. Are you having a good night? I know I took too long to advertise too, and I put my stuff out like 5 minutes before going live because I forgot to post my stuff. But I've been busy. But I was actually shocked. One of my friends on YouTube sent me a print screen that 2 weeks ago when I did my live on my YouTube channel, because it shoots it. I had almost 2,000 views. I was like, what? It was like 1,900 something. I go, they need to get over here and shop. That was crazy. I didn't do anything different. I don't know why it hit the algorithm like that, but I thought it was hysterical. It's kind of creepy. I'm used to having small set of people, not like large, so I was like, oh my gosh. Snowbound Cinderella by Ruth Langan. This is a 1999 copyright. And it says, The Storm. Famous and fabulously wealthy Sierra Wilde had led a charmed life until the day she decided to run away from her own wedding. Desperate to escape the pursuing press, the glamorous single woman sought refuge in a secluded cabin. But her snow-covered safe haven was soon invaded by dangerously attractive Jace Lockhart, a man tending to his own emotional wounds. Forced together by a raging blizzard, their passions overheated, their long-denied desires, and though Jace had the power to make Sierra feel like Cinderella, she knew her mysterious lover could never promise a fairy tale ending unless beauty could find a way to tame the beast. So that is that romance. I know, I was shocked. Hey, Foz. Welcome in. I'm trying to get better on modding for other people too and getting the fast texting down. Okay, so the next one we have, this is a Harley Quinn Intrigue. And I'm not sure if there's going to be more made off of these. I didn't put them together as a set because I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future, because sometimes authors will bounce back. This wasn't a trilogy, which is strange, but so far it's a 2-book set. It's kind of left open. Red Hawk's Heart by Amy Thurlow, The Brothers of Rockridge it's called. It's from 1999. Together they were fire and ice, white hot and shivery. Navajo lawman Ash Redhawk and his new partner, beautiful FBI agent Casey Fish, struck spark off each other the moment they met. They didn't stop. As she, from wanting all of her. Her lips, her touch, her secrets. But Casey had come to the reservation to investigate the mysterious deaths of Ash's father's foster parent, and he suspected she knew more than she let on. As their passion boiled over, Ash discovered this time that his trusting instinct was not enough. That time he'd given this time he'd have to trust Casey with one thing most sacred to him, his heart. So this is book one. Hey, Big Bank James. That's a mouthful. And then the second book that I have, and I don't, like I said, I don't know if this author's going to write anymore or not, is The Red Hawks Return by Amy Thurlow, The Brothers of Rock Ridge. There's only 2 in this set so far. And it's $19.99. And this is the condition it's in. Pretty good. Red Hawks vow. Travis Red Hawk's mission was simple. Protect Katrina Johnson at all costs, even if it meant his life. But the girl Travis had known was now a tempting woman who challenged him. Yet Travis couldn't let his guard down, for if something happened to her, he'd never forgive himself. Even now, with her life in danger and her past slowly unraveling, Katrina wanted Travis. He was colder, harder, sexier than she remembered, and determined to remain in control. But Katrina was more than a match for this Red Hawk brother, and just as he could protect her, she could save him from a life without love. So that's book number 2. Hey, Granny Vintage and Vitamin. We need vitamins. Granny's Vintage. I like that name. Makes me miss my granny. And here. I think I read it, but I'm not sure. Hey, Chuck. Man, I need a new phone. My letters keep getting chopped for some reason. It's weird. I don't know if you guys have that same issue on here or not. Where you're trying to type something, you cut your words. It's weird. Okay. So the next one we have, these are Harlequin intrigues, which are kind of like mysteries with romance. This is by Jackie Manning. This is a 2004 copyright. It's in pretty decent condition for a used book. A man like no other. When Liam O'Shea found a young beauty on his side of the road, battered and incoherent, his razor-sharp instincts honed by years of training as an undercover operative warned she was in trouble. Arnold demanded that he offer his protection. With an impossible mission, The only witness to an unspeakable murder she couldn't remember, Sarah Regis was in danger with her only hope of survival in Liam's strong arms. Now, as Liam and Sarah joined forces to locate a killer, would their sudden alliance withstand the secret she kept locked inside? So that is, oops, I moved it before I ran it. Okay, like I haven't done this before. So that one's running. Getting ahead of myself. And if anybody wants to see anything, just let me know. I don't go in any particular order. But I want you to see your book before you get it. And if it's in my buy it now, I can pull it for the next sale, because I don't have those ones in the room with me anymore. You all are actually helping me organize. Okay, the next book we have is another Harley Quinn Intrigue. This one's called Standoff at Mustang Ridge with Dolores Fawson. It's got some marks right there. It's definitely a used book. It is from 2013. It's got a stamp on top of it. Somebody stamped it. The Sheriff's One Night Stand. When Deputy Sheriff Royce McCall responds to a break-in at his family's cabin, he doesn't expect the intruder to be beautiful Sophia Conway in her nightgown. The last time he saw her, she wasn't wearing much else. Although the details of their New Year's Eve encounter were sketchy at best, then she admits not only has she become a killer's target, but she has also lied about carrying Royce's baby in order to escape an arranged marriage. With too many unanswered questions surrounding this woman he barely knows, Royce still vows to protect Sophie when the bullets start flying. But when the memories of their one-night stand become clearer, so does the fact that she may not be lying about being pregnant after all. So that is that one. Hey, yep. That's such a cute name. You're like, yep. Now you just need somebody following you around saying no. Oh. Okay, so the next one we have, I actually like the cover of this one. It's got a horsey on it. So this one is called Dead Ringer and Classified Christmas by B.J. Daniels. I believe this is the 2-in-1. Yes, this is 2 books in 1. It's got some writing on the top. That's what the binding looks like. This is a 2007 Dead Ringer. Ledger McGraw may know about horses, but he doesn't know anything about the lie that broke up his first romance with waitress Abby Pierce. Abby tricked him into marrying the wrong. Abby tricked him into marrying the wrong man. Is at the end of her tether in her abusive relationship, but when she learns the truth about her terrible marriage, she becomes desperate to escape it before the jealous husband kills her. Though Ledger's heart was wounded by Abby, he would still do anything to protect her and free her from her violent spouse. He's determined to win her back and reignite their passion. That's the first book. The second book is called Classified Christmas. Kay Jackson is as country as a cowboy can get until reporter Andy Blake arrives to civilize him and shatter his peaceful Christmas with shocking news. But Cade has a macho reputation to uphold, even if he is a sucker for a sassy brunette in silhouettes, and secretly burning for revenge is set on exposing Cade's bank robbing family and the truth about their greatest heist. No one is going to stop her, not even smoldering sexy Kate Jackson And though Andy didn't come to town looking for a cowboy, now she's rustled up one. Can she corral him under the mistletoe? So that is that book. So we will start running. Welcome back, Granny's Vintage. The next book we have is another romance, and it is called, he's handsome. It is called Famous Families, The Fortunes by Anne Major, Cowboy at Night. There's some creasing right there because these are used books. It's got a stamp on the top and bottom. 2005 copyright. You won't find a mule more stubborn than me, especially when it comes to women. Rancher Steve Fortune. With his prosperous ranch and independence, Stephen considers himself a lucky man. He's smart enough to stay far away from love. He's learned it brings only heartache. But when he meets planner Amy Burke St. Clair, who has beauty and brains to match, is just as cautious as he is. When Stephen feels for Amy, leaves him stunned and ready to admit that perhaps he doesn't have all the answers. And when they have to work together on a function, honor, and patriarch grind fortune, Stephen finds himself falling even harder. He soon changes his mind about the benefits of love and commitment, but will Amy change hers? So there is a romance. Well, welcome in, Megan. Hey, Hutch. Hutches are nice. Hutches are great dressers. And the next book we have is this one is called Montana Lawman Rescuer by Linda Ford, and this is an inspired historical. Let's get some lines of wear because, like I said, these are used books. There's a stamp on top. I think they say honor from another bookstore. 2018. Falling for her protector. After a stagecoach robbery nearly kills her and the small boy she's traveling with, Emily Smith can't remember who she is or where she's going. Lost and with only wisps of her memory, she must rely on the handsome, dark-eyed sheriff who saved her. Jess Hill protects his heart as fiercely as he protects the small Montana town of Bellow Creek. How did Emily's kindness and beauty get past his armor? But Jesse knows well his own tainted past, one that means he could never marry a woman like Emily, even if her love could prove his redemption. So that is that book. Oop, the wrong one's pinned. Gotta run the next one. The bid, unless you want the last book. I forgot to pin the other one. Arca 92. Welcome, welcome. I don't go in any specific order. I have show notes, and if you want to see something, just feel free to let me know. Let me pin the right book this time. Okay. This is the right book. Hey, Jack Stash. What are you stashing? Or should I ask? Do you people that don't say hi, are you like bots or what? I was in a stream one night modding, and I kept telling everybody I would tag their name and put, "You must be a bot." One of them came back and says, "I'm not a bot." I'm like, "Then say hello." Oh my gosh, that's too funny. It's like a revolving door over here. You see where people join, but you never see when they leave. It's crazy. So this is The Bounty Hunter's Baby by Erica. I think it's a Vets. I'm gonna say Vetch. I don't know how to say that last name. But anyways, definitely a love book. It's a love-inspired historical. It is from 2017. And this is bounty hunter Thomas Buford has no problem handling outlaws. But when he's left with a criminal's baby to care for, he's in over his head. And the only person he could think of to ask for help is Esther Jensen, the woman whose heart he broke when he left town. But can he convince her to put aside the past until he tracks down the baby's outlaw father? Esther is ready to run Thomas off her Texas ranch until she spies the abandoned newborn in his arms. Soon working together to care for the precious babe stirs old hopes of a family. With trouble heading to their door, they could overcome it together if she'll entrust her weary heart to this sweet second chance family. So this is the last today of the romances. Hey, Colm. I can't even begin to pronounce your first name. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Emal. Is that how you say it? Emalcom? I try. Hey, Benji Lem. When I think of Benji, I think of the Pooch Benji. I had the books Benji and Tiffany. It was a good story. Is that Dr. Phil's face on your profile? That's too cute. Looks like Dr. Phil. Okay, so we went through action suspense. We went through romance. Now we are going into educational. So are you ready? I mix up educational. You will never know what kind of surprises I stick in what genre because I mix up books. I'm good at that. Welcome back, Chuck. So my educational section is going to begin with, I get some crazy books. This is called The Dell Smart Shopping with Coupons and Refunds book by Bronnie Storch Caprice. And it's blue. It's thin. It's got like an earmark from 1980. And the images in this are so funny because they would definitely be outdated. It's showing what coupons look like. I guess it helps you budget. But it's a cute book. This book is as good as cash in hand. Learn how to save money each time you step up to the checkout counter. Here are all the basic couponing and refunding techniques that are guaranteed to save you money. Cash offs form and no farm offers, qualifiers, sweepstakes, contests, sources, newsletters, and much, much more. Join the millions who are discovering how to cut shopping costs, learn how to maximize the value of your coupons and refunds, and save money. Now you can have your cake and eat it too. For less than you ever dreamed possible, start cashing in on supermarket savings today. So there you go. These books are hysterical. I didn't even Google lens them to see if they had any value. I just think they're funny. I just stick whatever price I think they're valued at. I guess I could have a expensive book and I wouldn't even know it. Because I know that sometimes you Google lens stuff, it'll show you like a real high price at first. It's crazy. And then you'll Google lens it the next day and it's all dropped. It's weird. It could go from $40 to $2. It's crazy. So the next educational book I have, these are just, they're so far from each other. It's nuts. It's called, Do You Sincerely Want to Be Rich? And it's an older book, and it's even got a really old advertisement in it. 26 weeks of business week for only $6. That's old. It's from 1972. And it says, the astonishing story of Bernie Cornfield, an unglamorous Brooklyn-bred social worker who became the world's first perpetual motion money-making machine. From a castle in Switzerland surrounded by luxury and beautiful women, he parlayed $2 billion of other people's money into a financial empire that collapsed with a thud heard round the world. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. That sounds like a scammer. So there's that book. Is it moving? Okay. So then the next one we have, this one here is called Future Shock by Alvin Toffler. I like the font. Isn't that funny? Little curves. This is what the book looks like. It's even got an ad in it too that's old. Somebody's name was put on this. And this is from 1971. It's got a little bit of spottage on it. And it says, Future Shock is about what is happening to, this is in the 70s, happening today to people groups who are overwhelmed by change. Change affects our products, communities, organizations, even our patterns of friendship and love. Future Shock vividly describes the emerging super industrial world, tomorrow's family life, and the rise of new businesses and subcultures, lifestyles, and human relationships, all of them temporary. Future Shock illuminates the world of tomorrow by exploding countless cliches about today. Future Shock will intrigue, provoke, frighten, encourage, and above all, change everyone who reads it. Looks like a nice read. And we are starting it at $1. Hey, big man, how have you been? Aw, last word. Thanks for the raid. That's so sweet. So let me get over here. I forgot to put one in over here. I'm going to take one of my books. Okay, this looks like a good one. We're going to edit this into the auction for the thank you for the raid. And this is definitely worth it if anybody likes. Let me change the price. I'm going to make this $1 instead of $4. Come on. Publish. And I think it's worth it because this is a really good cookbook. I don't have it in the room, but it's a bunch of favorites. And I want to pin it and run it. Because I think cookbooks, who doesn't like cookbooks? Doing pretty good. How are you? Getting organized. I went into my garage the other night to continue to organize, and I ran into a bat. That was not fun. It scared the crap out of me. I have a bat in my garage. So I had to leave the light on until we can plug the hole it's coming in. What do you mean a book club? What would that be? I know. Well, a while back, there's a square in the floor. Hey, lady, tag along. We kept seeing a square. I don't know why it keeps picking that spot. And there was like poop in the spot, like these little turds. We didn't know if it was a mouse, mole, rat. Here it's been the bat the whole time. They do say that they keep away, but you do have to be careful. They don't colonize. And so, yeah, we got to figure out how to do our thing. I don't know because I got closed down during COVID, my physical bookstore. And I have been debating because right now this is helping me organize to sell. I've been debating if I want to stay in books or not. Because I actually started crafting and my bookstore became my crafting place. So this has been helping me organize my books through Whatnot. But I'm thinking later I might change categories. I mean, I probably will keep books as a part, but I just have so many I have to downsize. And I don't know. I just think books are real hard to sell here. You know? Oh no. Well, this is what I found the other day. Let me see if I can show you this picture real quick. My husband was out mowing the grass and he turned around and came face to face with this in our tree. I mean, he said it was right in his face. We didn't even know it was there. There's one picture of it. And then here's the other picture. It's a little darker. But he sprayed it. But I told him don't touch it because he's so accident prone. We got to call a bug person to come in. I was sitting out beside it today and I haven't seen no activity. But I'm telling you what, he was lucky he didn't get chased. Yes. But he soaked it down during the nighttime a couple times, and that's what I told him. He says I'm out there with the weed whacker because he was mowing, and I turned around, it was right there, Tim. He's like, it's right in my face, and he says I saw that and was like he just like his face, and he goes, I just ran. He just dropped everything and ran to the house because he says he didn't see anything, but it was just so weird. But also, it's so cool. Like I told him, I mean, when you look at the shape of it, to me, it's still fascinating. I mean, not that I like bees or anything because I don't. But I mean, just look at, I'm going to hold it up real close. It amazes me the decor of it. Like, look at that. And when I looked it up, they say that they chew like wood and paper and they use their saliva, but look at the swirl in that thing. I told him this would be cool if a science teacher could like get a hold of it, of course empty, and like preserve it. That would be so cool for a classroom. As long as there's no bees in it, that is. No, I treated the tree all fall, and it started in the spring. They started building it, so no, it hasn't been there for a while. I was actually spraying that tree down for a fungus because the trunk was like in bad shape, and I have the before and after because that tree was off of another part of property we owned, and we had it excavated up here. So no, it wasn't there for a while. It was just built this spring. And it's crazy how um they built it that fast. That's what me and my husband were talking about because it definitely wasn't there. I sent my mom pictures. Wait a minute. See if I can find real quick how so you can see how much I got this copper stuff off of yeah, I have a picture of all of it. Look, this is the base of that tree. The other property had been coal mined, and I think there was something in the water in the ground, and it caused this fungus, and we were afraid to lose it because we actually planted this when my youngest daughter was born in 1990. And I bought this, that's the before. This is the after of the same tree after I treated it. So if anybody's looking for a good treatment of fungus, there's it's called, this is what this stuff is. It's called copper fungicide, and I got this off of Amazon. So in the fall, when everything's dying, that's when I went out and treated the tree, and there's no leaves on it. So we would have saw the nest really easy because this totally loses the leaves. And I was treating it all the way around. Like I was walking completely around the tree treating it, and I would have noticed a nest, believe me. The only thing that was in it was a little bird's nest. But this was crazy how fast this nest was built, was just crazy. Hey, that dude Riri. But anyways, I'll run this one more time if anybody's interested in a nice cookbook. It's Food Network by Favorites, and it's got like a lot of different, I think it's like a bunch of different stars or and cooks, like, you know, famous cooks that made their recipes into the book. But did that run? No. Hold on. I don't know why my app does that. It like quits, and then I have to shut it down and come back because that's whatnot glitches for you. But I mean, what do you mean by book club? I mean, I've never been a part of a book club. I mean, I was a part of Dell's book club a long time ago where you had to order books, but I don't know what you mean. You mean like where people come and read with us? But the future books that I'll probably sell when I become a crafter is going to be stuff that people can use to craft with. Like I'll look for florals and, you know, some kids books and things that people like taking apart and turn into journals and stuff. It's been 11 years. I know somebody messaged me about a reading train on Saturday to do like an hour thing, but I just can't. I can't promise people stuff because I have a lot of family events on Saturday, like the weekends. I try not to make, I know that there's a lot of people on here that grind, but I try not to make the online a priority. That's why I only go live every Wednesdays. When I built my YouTube channels, I went live on one every Wednesday and live on the other one every Friday. But weekends, I try to stay away from the net because I need that break from the web. And I know that's when a lot of people are on here because of the simple fact they work all week. So I do get it, but it's too much. Like, I have to have a break from the web. My eyes can't take the strain. Plus, I have cataract. I'm having a hard time reading now as it is. Me and my husband had a doctor's appointment to see our eye doctor. She retired and never told us. So the new doctor that took over her practice is out of network, and I'm under medical because I've got cataracts coming on, and I'm getting like blinder by the day. And eventually I'll have to go under surgery because the same thing happened to my mom. And she never told us she was retiring, so it knocked her office out of network. So now we have to find a new eye doctor. So my husband's looking and supposed to be making an appointment for both of us. It's awful. I don't even drive at night right now because of it. So the next book I have, I put this under educational. I like books like these. I think they're corny. But this is free stuff for seniors. I don't know if this stuff is still active right now because this was written in 1997. But this is by Matthew Lesko. I mean, people could check because there's a lot of addresses in this book. And it says, for seniors, why pay for what's rightfully yours? Live alone, no need to spend a fortune on an emergency call button. Use the information on page 313 and rest secure. Don't get ripped off by a swindler. Get some free advice from a lawyer specializing in travel swindlers. And it gives you free advice on page 138. The back tells you exactly where to go. Get up to $800 for food. Senior citizens are given special consideration. You check on page 70. Some of this stuff could still work. I don't know. It's an interesting book. I like looking at some of the old advertisements that I see in the older magazines. I think they're so funny. Especially the ones that don't even have zip codes. Used to be just a number. I'm like, that's so weird. Just go past somebody's yard and put their mail in it. Yeah, that's what I think too. You never know. I think it's worth to check. But if my books don't sell, I'm good with it because I have 2 other places I put everything in, and then we have a community yard sale here, and some of them I turn into journals depending on what they are and what they say. This one here is called Cases and Marketing, Decisions, Policies, and Strategies. And this one is, none of the 77 cases in this collection has previously been published. Present cases based on real situations, affording readers the opportunity to apply what they have learned or are learning in the real world situations. Divided into 11 sections representing the main areas of marketing, poses specific questions at the end of each case. Contains 47 consumer marketing cases, 24 industrial cases, 4 involving the marketing of services, and 2 concerned with agribusiness. While U.S. cases predominate, 5 cases involve international marketing and domestic marketing overseas. To emphasize particular types of marketing decisions, most cases are concise, incorporates a few longer and more complex cases requiring readers to evaluate and or formulate overall marketing strategy. Treats modern areas of marketing concerns such as marketing to minority groups and franchise distribution. Written in the past tense, all cases are presented as histories, illustrated by diagrams, graphs, charts, and tables. My daughter actually has her bachelor's in business. She would be good at selling on whatnot, but she's got another job that she likes. She's really good. We had a community yard sale, and that girl kicked butt. She made me more money last year than I've ever made doing a yard sale. She's really good at how she does her strategies, how she sets up the yard sales and everything. She's pretty amazing. I'm going shopping with her on Sunday because all the money that I have made on whatnot I saved, and I'm getting ready to buy stain paint to paint my front door. I'm doing some home improvements. I got my work cut out for me because I got 3 doors that need winterized. So there's that one. This one here looks like a good one. Here we go. Capturing customers. Wonder if this would still work. I like the color of the blue on that book. I think it's pretty. But this one here is how to target the hottest markets of the 90s. I have quite a few books from the 90s. This is in good condition too. It's almost like new. This is crazy. Peter Francis. Well, it's a different way to spell Francis. Is perhaps the country's foremost expert on the use of demographs in business. A leader in the early development of the data industry, he co-founded National Planning Data Corporation in 1970. In 1978, he founded American Demographics Incorporated, which publishes books and periodicals widely used by executives in many of the nation's leading corporations. Rebecca Perto is an award-winning journalist and author specializing in business and economics. Her column on consumer attitude research appears in American Demographics magazine. She's also the author of Beyond Mind Games, The Marketing Power of Psychographics, published by American Demograph Books. So it's written by Peter and Rebecca. That's interesting. I actually, hey Silver Farmer and Deher, I had a book that somebody dropped off at my bookstore when I first got it, and it was how to run a small business and what fails. And I remember talking to a guy in a chat room before on Pal Talk, and he was telling me he sold on eBay. And it's funny because what he said really coincided with the book. He was my first eBay seller I ever talked to a long time ago. And he said that a lot of the businesses go out of business are tools because they go in debt with loans and credit cards and things to buy the tools. And then they had end up filing bankruptcy because they don't make their money. So what he did as an eBay seller was he would buy out the businesses and then put it on eBay to where he didn't have a store and he paid cash. So listening to him and then that small business book that came in my store told me practically the same thing, is you don't want to go in debt. So that's why I opened my business in the bottom of my house where I don't have to pay lease or rent, or at least you own your building if you're going to run a business. And I didn't charge or take loans out for anything. I worked another job and paid cash to build. This is very interesting. Pilgrim's Progress. And let me see. Let me find it. But it is interesting when you study, and I try to help people when they start businesses, try not to go in debt before they do. Okay. That's under my biblical books. Okay, that's this one. This is what the book looks like, the condition it's in. It's from 1990. This is just my little cheat sheet. I'll take that out. Do you want to hear what it's about, or are you good? You just want me to run it? Just run. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. It's a cute little book. But it is interesting though. But I noticed when COVID hit, books climbed. They talked about it on one of the day talk shows that they actually spiked because people were stuck at home and they started reading again. And that's what I like about them being a constant. Thank you so much for your bid and purchase. But you know what I mean? So I'm like you. I believe that books will never totally fade away, but I feel like they get taken for granted because people don't think of them until something like that happens. You know what I mean? Hey, Bass Pro. So I find it very, very interesting because I was glad they took a, people were taking an interest again. This one here is called How We Prosper Under Freedom, a tested short course of everyday economics. This is from 1970 by Warren T. Hackett. And it's got a formula. The formula above and many other principles of free choice enterprise are explained in this brief text. They were presented to teenage students at Camp Enterprise, sponsored by Columbus, Ohio Rotary. The lessons drew enthusiastic endorsement. Typical comments include, I have learned as much in 3 days as I would in a whole semester of economics in school. I now have the desire of learning more about economics. I actually loved economics when I was in school. That was like one of my favorite courses. Hey, Bass Pro. But yeah, and then I've gotten like different feedback listening to different people. Like my mother-in-law has a Kindle, and it's easy for some people because they don't have to move books and they don't have to dust them anymore. But she said it was the lure. Like everything was real cheap when she first got it. She goes, now I have to have it charged. Now the prices are going up. Now she's back to reading real books again. She's hysterical. She says, some of the books are expensive. So the next book I have, even though this is under educational, I put autobiographies under educational because I believe learning about somebody's life experiences is educational. I mix things together, so you never know what I'm going to have in what category. This is John Wayne Behind the Myth by Michael Munn, and this is a 2003. And it says, no Hollywood legend ever walked taller than John Wayne. In almost 200 films, his towering straight shooting screen persona based on patriotism and clear-cut sense of right or wrong came to represent the real John Wayne, a living American icon and able to dispute his box office success. Detractors focused on his right-wing politics and the fact that despite starring in a gung-ho war films, he didn't serve in World War II. Now author Michael Munn's startling biography sets the record straight on why the megastar was unable to enlist. Director John Ford's contribution to Wayne's career, his highs and lows, his 3 failed marriages, and his 2 desperate battles with cancer. Munn also discloses publicly for the first time Soviet dictatorship Joseph Stalin's plot to assassinate Wayne because of his outspoken, potentially influential anti-communist views. That sounds like a good book. I didn't know he battled cancer. That's crazy. Hey, Barwinky. I think that name is so cute. Barwinky. Well, if you let me know what your ideas are on the book club you were talking about. I have no clue what you mean. Give me your ideas and we'll talk about it. I mean, I still got a lot of books to go through. I know there's some people selling books by amounts in the Facebook marketplace and places like that. And I think there's a girl that started a box of books, but my gosh, the expense. Paper's gone up too. I just got a notice from my bank. They're going to start charging me $6 a month just to print our, a monthly thing. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Jaw. Sorry, I missed you guys. Are you still in here or did you guys leave? Sorry if I missed you. I keep forgetting to look over and check YouTube at the same time. You're still in here, let me know. This here is a hard book. It's called Disease Free at 60 Plus. Hundreds of life-preserving tips and techniques to defy heart trouble, cancer, and stroke by Doug Dalmore, Kathy Raymond, and the editors of Prevention Magazine Health. The only thing that I see as a flaw in this is it's got some foxing. Like there's some specks on the outside of the pages a little bit, but the inside of the book looks really good. It's got all kinds of good stuff. Learn how to eat, weigh healthy, exercise for longevity, boost your immune system, control your weight forever, remove harmful substance from your environment, and it gives you all kinds of screenings and things that you need to do to take care of yourself medically. So I will run this. There you are. You came to see me over here. That is so cool. Welcome, welcome. How are the girls doing? It's so good to see you over here. I know the last time I tried to look at your Instagram to see how they're growing up. Oh my gosh. They're so cute. And for people that don't know Jaw, she was somebody I met on YouTube a long time ago, and she got pregnant, and we gave her the very first. She was a part of the very first YouTube baby shower. We had to do something and send her stuff, and it was so cute, and it was so fun. And I get to see her daughters grow from babies. They're like our YouTube babies. So let me see. The next one we have. This one here I think is funny. I mean, it might be outdated, but to me, some things are like a time capsule. Like, some people will collect instructions or covers of 45s. This book to me is so funny because it's Windows XP for Dummies. XP Home was my very first computer, that I came online with. We had a Quasar first that had floppy disks and things. This is like a time. Looking through these pictures and even seeing how far computers have changed is so interesting. From even what the pop-ups look like. And this is from 2004. It was the second edition by Andy Rothbone. And it's just everything from burning CDs to scanning your fax from desktop, everything to do with XP. And I just think this book is a treasure, but that's just me. So if it doesn't sell, I'm okay with that. I'll save it as a time treasure. Oh, darn it. I was hoping Alicia was still in the live stream, too. Oh, my gosh. Adele says 6 already. Your kids make me feel old. 2? That's crazy. I mean, you probably feel it because you're their mother, but it's like crazy. I mean, just like my one grandson, he took his first girl to a dance, and I'm like, what? He's not allowed to date. He's at that age already. And I'm like, I just want to smush him and keep him little forever. But it doesn't work that way. But it just seems so weird having pictures of him with a girl already. It flies. Believe me, it flies. You got one time to do everything as best you can with your kids before they leave. You got one time, and it flies faster than what you realize. I think that's why I got my doggy. It's like the empty nest syndrome. My mom used to say when us kids left, she could still hear pitter patters in the house and we weren't even there, you know? It's crazy. So now we're going into my young adult section. And these books are kind of beat up. But for somebody who likes these type of books, they don't have to be for a young adult. These got some spots on top because they are used. They have some discoloration. These are from 1989. This is Forgotten Realms, Water Deep by Richard Olson. This is book 3 in the Avatar trilogy. I don't have the first 2 yet, but if I come across it, I will make it a set. And this is Who Will Be the New Gods? The god of Strath is dead, destroyed in his attack on Tantras at midnight, and her allies have recovered the first tablet of fate, one of a pair of artifacts that return to the gods to the former glory and save the realms from the fallen deity's wrath. To complete their quest, though, the heroes must travel across the world to deep water, the city of splendors, and even pass into the realm of the dead. But both Cyric, Michael, god of dead, want the tablets of fate for their own dark ends, and they will stop at nothing to capture midnight, even if it means the destruction of the realms. And this is Water Deep. So I will run it. I'll add you over here. And I'll tell you something else. If you get into something over here from home, this is a really good place, and they got really good support here. Well, let me follow you. Yay, I get to be your first follower. Hey, Josie Davis, welcome in. Well, yep, thank you. Thank you so much for your purchase. So the next book I have, this one here is called The Dragonlance Chronicles Volume 2, Dragons of Winter Night. Like I said, I don't have the whole set of this one either. But this is from 1985. You definitely can see the discoloration. And it says, dragons, creatures of legend stories told to children, but now the dragons have returned to Quinn. The darkness of war and destruction engulfs the land. A small band of heroes brings hope to the land, but the hope is fragile as a rose and may be lost completely, shattered by the bitter winds of winter. Knight and barbarian warrior and half-elf, dwarf and kender, dark-souled mage, they begin a perilous search for 2 artifacts that may help them or lead them to the destruction: the Dragon Orb and the legendary Dragonlance. The second novel in a fantasy trilogy is what this is from. And I could come across some of these because I did sell a set of books through the Facebook Marketplace to a guy in Canada. They were called Oh God, I was just telling my husband about this the other day. Oh, I'll have to think of them, but they were flatter and they were longer, and it was $80 for me to send it to him, and I think I only charged like $2 a book, and there was like maybe a set of 20. 15, number 15, the book was missing out of the entire set. And I looked and looked for this book, and I told him I have all of them but book 15. And I said, "Are you sure you want to pay 80?" You know what he told me? He says they're so expensive up here that even with your shipping, because they ran like $12 to $14 here, and they were higher there for each book. And the Survivalist, I think is what the series was called. And so he goes, "Are you sure you don't have 15?" Because he said they were really expensive up here. So he bought them off of me. And just after COVID and I started setting up the whatnot, I was going through a tote, and guess what I found? Book 15. It's like, you gotta be flipping kidding me. Thank you, yep, yep. But it was crazy because I felt so bad. So I contacted him through Facebook. I said, "You're never going to believe this. I found book 15. But he never answered. So I don't know if he's, everything was blank on his thing. So I don't know if he left Facebook or what. But I was like, no, it's terrible to find it 2 years later. But it was crazy. Thank you for your purchase. And then this goes into, because I know some people ask me for sci-fi too, and I have it kind of mixed in with action suspense. This one here, I have volume 1, just so you know ahead of time. I have volume 2. 3 is missing. I have 4, 5, and 6. And I am not sure how many volumes are in this particular set because I didn't look it up. I didn't have the whole set, so I didn't think to. But you can always Google how many's in particular sets. But like I said, I want you to know what you're getting because it has darkened with age. These are from 1991. Like I said, they're used books. This one says Magic and Murder. It's got a little bit of chippage around the cover. If you don't care, I don't care. I mean, I don't care. I read anything as long as all the pages are there. I don't care if it even has a front cover. That's just me. When Flint, Fireforge Dwarf, and Metalsmith receives a wondrous summons from the Speaker of the Sun, he journeys to the fabled elven city of Quailanos. There he meets Tanis, a thoughtful youth born of magic. Union between elf and man. Tanis and Flint, each a misfit in his own way, find themselves unlikely friends, but a pompous elf lord is mysteriously slain, and another elf soon meets the same fate. Tanis stands accused, and if Flint and he cannot prove his innocence, the half-elf, will be banished forever. Solving the mystery will be a perilous task. Time is on the murderer's side, and he is not finished yet. So that is the first. Hey, Noah. Welcome. Thank you. Yep, yep. You must really like these series. Hey, Jade Kingsbury. Oh my gosh, she got her first pet. That's so cute, Jaw. How is she enjoying her first pet? I remember when my daughter got her first pet, she kept wanting to pull the fur, and I said, no, you can't torture the animal. You gotta love her. How are you doing, Noah? The next book is this over here. This is Book 2, Wanderlust by Mary Kirchhoff and Steve Winter. And this is from 1991 too. So you know what the book looks like. You're going to have some darkness and some specks on it. But like I said, the pages are all there. Stop thief. One spring day, Tasselhoff barefoot comes to Solace, accidentally pockets a copper bracelet, and forcibly makes the acquaintance of Tana's half-elven and Flint Fireforge. A simple tale, except the fate of the entire race of Dragonesti sea elves hangs in the balance. How does this piece of Kender-coveted jewelry lead the companions and the sea elf princess to ally with the Phaethons, creatures with wings of flame? The answer lies with the mysterious mage, a broker of souls who knows the bracelet secret and has a hideous plan to rule the black robes. So that's this one. And Yep is on a roll. Hey, John. Hey, Hannah. Aww. Well, that's so sweet. She loves her kitty cat. That's awesome. No, I think mine was, she was young and she was like, give me the fur. She kept grabbing onto the cat's fur and I had, let go. But she was young too, so. But I had a dog one time that we kept for a time period before we homed it, because we used to foster animals too. And I have a picture where she's wearing a little sundress and the dog is pulling on the bottom of her dress and she's standing there looking at it like, what are you doing to my dress? It was funny. This is The Oath and Measure by Michael Williams, and this is volume 4. So you see what it looks like. And this is from 1992. And it says Secrets of the Past. Although the wrestling and cameraman urge him not to go, Stern Brightblade attends an annual Solmanic ceremony that is interrupted by a stranger taunting challenge clues from the past death. Once he accepts the mysterious gauntlet, young Stern must make a dangerous journey from some curious friends, rescue a fair of querulous maid, defeat a traitor knight, and learn the secret fate of his long-lost father. He must also learn the meaning of honor, the 4th installment of the popular story. So there you go. And there's this one. And if I find any more, I'm going to write your screen name down right now while I'm thinking of it. I will tag you. Since you were buying them, I will make sure that you're the first to know. And then if you're not interested, that's okay. Yep. 71. Yes, I have a little book here that I keep people's names in, so that way, I can keep track of who's wearing what. And thank you so much for purchasing these. And the next one is this one is called Steel and Stone, and it is number 5. Like I said, it's got some aging. And this is 1992. Hate at First Sight, the tempestuous affair of Katera Youth Madar and Tana's half-elven begins with the sword. Life isn't simple for the hot-headed pair. They must contend with a cantankerous two-headed troll. These books sound interesting. You'll have to tell me how they are if you read them. A deposed leader who believes Kateria is the cause of the ruler's troubles. I'm probably butchering these names. A vindictive mage who seeks peculiar vengeance, and Kit's hulking former lover. They also meet a beautiful magic user hiding a painful secret, and a giant owl with a sardonic sense of humor. Here's the long-awaited story of meeting of Tanis and Kateria, a tale of love, lust, and betrayal and revenge that takes the reader through Quinn and south to the glacial ice reach. I have no clue. But thank you, thank you. Did you read these before? That's so cool. Hey, Old Pickers and Diana. Yeah, I have some Louis L'Amour put aside, and William Johnson's like, I have like pieces of series, but not the whole thing. So I'm trying to get some together to be able to do, you know, like complete book lots. And it's tough when everything's a mess where I'm at. It's a long story about what happened to my bookstore. I had to keep these books from water. If you only knew. Got a leaky roof where they were stored, and then my hot water heater, when I moved into the middle, decided to blow up. I told this story one of my lives. It was horrible. So everything got mixed together, so I don't know where what is now. So as I unbox, you see what I see. This is volume 6. You could even see where something laid there. I have no clue what it was, but something laid there where that turned. And then this is 1992, Lost at Sea. Cameron Sturm and Tasselhoff, on an innocent ship's errand, are blown thousands of miles off course by a magic windstorm and transported to the eastern Blood Sea. Cameron and Sturm are left for dead, while Tasselhoff mysteriously turns against his friends. Back in Solace, Raceland convinces Flint, Fireforge, and Tina's half-elven that they must make a perilous journey to Mythos, the kingdom of Minotaurs. They're tasked not only to rescue their friends, but also defeat the elusive Nightmaster. So there is that one. Do you know how many is in this series? I didn't even look it up. I had one book, though, 400. I kid you not. It's called Long Arm series. They were Westerns. 400 books. I was like, holy moly. And I have a mixture, but I don't think I have the entire 400. I don't think so. I think I just have a few of that one. Thank you for your purchase. I appreciate it. So that are those. I know there's a lot of people that do like reading series. That is part of 3 other series. Oh, how interesting. And then the next book I have, this is called Robespierre and the French Revolution by J.N. Thompson. Let's get some rating right there. And this is from 1966. Somebody wrote numbers in it. And this is the triumphant storming of the Bastille on July 14, 1789, showed France determined to end the despotism, I don't know what that means, of her Bourbon kings, but the aftermath showed her unready for the rigors of democracy. In the chaotic first months of the new republic, one after another of the revolutionary leaders tried unsuccessfully to form a stable government. The man who wielded the most influence, who was in fact the symbol of the revolution to Frenchmen and foreign observers alike, was an obscure provincial lawyer named Maximilien Robespierre, a contradictory as the revolution itself. Robespierre reflected both its loftiest ideals and basest practices, president of the National Convention, and acclaimed as the selfless champion of liberty. Robespierre led the grand parade and celebration that all France cheered in June of 1794. 6 weeks later, he was guillotined. Oh, that's awful. As an enemy of the people, means he had his head cut off. A ruthless tyrant lusting for personal power, this compact and authoritative study juxtaposes the tumultuous era of the First French Republic with the character of its controversial spokesman. It is not so much a detailed life of Robespierre or a history of the French Revolution as an attempt to explain each in terms of the other and to bring out the permanent and contemporary significance of both. Oh my goodness, that was a mouthful. So we will run this one next. Where did I put it? There you are. Oh, thank you. Thank for your purchase again. Yep. I hope you're finding some good ones that you like. Hey, Ice Gray and Rain and Dee Dee. Welcome. I don't go in any specific order, so if there's anything you want to see in the auction, let me know. If you want to see it in the bin, the store, I'll have to bring it out next sale because I don't have them in the room with me. I only have the auction items with me. Okay, so the next one I have is called, this one's cute. This I kind of didn't know if I wanted to put it in educational or young adult because this is like codes and secret writing, but this is a scholastic book. I mean, this is old. And this is from 1948, and it shows all the ways of doing secret codes to, you know, how we did letters on like cereal boxes where they would have like letters and it would be a certain letter. I mean, numbers and it would be a certain letter. And it says, here's the book for you. Easy to follow step-by-step explanations of how secret codes can be made. You can practice both encoding and decoding. You'll even learn to work out a code of your own that will fool many a code expert. You'll have fun learning about the position code, code wheels, secret languages, reverse codes, and many more. Best of all, there are 2 entire chapters on secret writing and invisible ink. Oh, I remember invisible inks. So go for it, but make sure no one's looking over your shoulder. I think that book would be funny. Thank you for your purchases. It is so appreciated. But no, Joe, if you're still in here, my daughter sold like baby clothes and old clothes of her kids. And there's a lot of people that do really good on here with clothes too. And you get some good deals too. I found some really nice t-shirts. And they start them reasonably. Like this one girl, she was selling t-shirts starting $2 and $3. I was like, heck yeah. This one's called The Music of Dolphins by Karen Hess. This is a 1996. And I did put these under young adults, even though any age can read them. Molly creates headlines around the world when she is rescued from an unpopulated island off the coast of Florida. Now a teenager, she has been raised by dolphins from the age of 4. Researchers teach Mila language and music. She learns too about rules and expectations, about locked doors, broken promises, disappointment, and betrayal. The more Mila finds out what it means to be human, the more deeply she longs for the ocean again. From A Wild Child 2. This is almost like a mermaid story, but it's a dolphin story. And it is running. Hey, Annie. Hey, Rain Rose. Those are different names. And the last set, I believe, is my biblical. That's the only one I haven't done yet. And my biblical is kind of a mixture. There's some kids stuff in there and some adult stuff. Put your books over here. Okay, so there is that one. And we'll go there. Okay. Hey, Beanies, how are you doing? So we are going into the biblical books. So the first one is called The Great Commission, Where Are You Going by Randall Paris, a guide for teens and young adults too. It's in good shape. This is from 2009. It says Teens and Young Adult Commitment Pledge. And it says that we, the young people of the Church of God, united as championship team with fresh faith fire, committed to the Great Commission code of conduct set forth by Jesus Christ. And it goes on to give you a scripture, and that it's got different things that are expected to follow if they want to pledge themselves to the Lord. And it says they'll accept the authority, they'll go to friends and classmates, they'll follow the Lord as true disciples, they'll teach the impactful meaning of the Christian life, and they'll trust the presence of promises. And that's what this book is about. How are you doing, Beanie? Are you doing good with crafts? I've been opening up boxes on a daily basis. Thank you, Yep Yep. And just trying to find different things. I got so many books, Beanie, and they're a mess. They're all mixed together. So I'm trying to sort genres, get them on here, and I'm leaving my store live for people to go pick out what they want. I didn't know that Whatnot hid your books until you were live. I had to go and set every one of them to show when I'm not live. It's a little slide button, but I do like that it allows you to have a store with unlimited, and you don't got to pay to have the store. You know, Etsy charges 20 cents for every freaking thing to upload, which is ridiculous. So it's kind of nice. They let you do it free, and they don't take any money until you actually make it, you know, sell the item. Makes it really nice. So here is an update on Christian counseling by J.E. Adams. This is volume 1. That's what this book looks like. It's in 1979. And it is, tell you what the subjects are. How does counseling affect the counselor? Failure in counseling, stress, a Christian approach, drugs and counseling, the practicality of the Sermon on the Mount, don't apologize, presuppositions in counseling, getting organized, using the PDI, flexibility in counseling, adaptability in counseling, reminding, a basic Christian vocabulary, index of scripture preferences, index of subjects, index of persons. So this makes it easy for people to try to open up and talk about different things. And I'm sure it kind of educates people if they want to be a counselor or help others. It makes it nice. So it is running. Thank you. Yep. You're just going to town in my store. And I'm going to keep building it. You wouldn't believe the organization. I've been buying totes every single week. Or every single payday. Every other week. Except that bat. I'm hoping my light bulb doesn't burn out in my garage. Ran into an unexpected intruder. And if you buy anything that's part of sets, hopefully I'll come across the rest of them. I don't know if I will, but I will try. As I empty books, I've been putting them aside. Some of them, I do have one complete set I haven't posted yet because I'm trying to get a show where I actually have the set books, all of them, so I can actually bulk them. But I really didn't know how to do these ones because they weren't all together. I don't like bulking them unless the whole set's there. And then there's times, I mean, you can't please everybody, but there's times I was actually reading this series once. I think it was a V.C. Andrews series, and I was missing the last book. So sometimes I don't want to buy the whole set just to get one book too. So, you know, but if I do have the whole set, I will put it together. But I mean, if somebody would ask me to break a set, I would, if they wanted the book bad enough. Because I've had movies do that too. You know, like I'd watch one movie and then the second movie, and then the third would come out and they would make you buy the whole bundle to get it again. I'm like, really? It was hard to find it by itself. So this book here is part of a series. This is book 5. It's called Violet's Perplexing Puzzles, based on characters by Martha Finley. It's in pretty good condition. And it is from 2005. And it says, there's a man I've never seen before at the front door. He asked to speak to you, Zoe said. His name is Clint or Clinch, I think. Vi's expression darkened. Even in the soft light of the oil lamp, Zoe saw a flash in her friend's eyes. Should I send him away? Zoe asked with concern. Vi, her brow furrowed and thought, said, no, I will see him. She removed her spectacles and laid them in her desk. Slowly she corked the ink bottle and waved her writing pen with a cloth. She was hardly conscious of her movements, for her mind was full of questions. What could he want with me? Why come at night? Does he come here as friend or foe? Violet Trevilla's dream of serving others has come true, but her mission at Samaritan House hasn't won over all of her neighbors. In the impoverished district of Wildwood, new people are about to enter her life, but what are their motives? Can Vi solve the thorny puzzles as she confronts and separates what is true from what is false, and what mysteries are stirring in her heart? Violet's Perplexing Puzzles is the 5th in the Life of the Faith Violet Trevilla series based on characters created by Miss Martha Finley, a 19th century Christian writer whose uplifting stories were beloved by millions in her own time. Mission City Press has developed a series for modern readers, bringing to a new generation Miss Finley's inspiring message of the power of faith to resolve the puzzles of everyday life. So that is that one. Hey, Big Bank James. Welcome, welcome. If there is anything you care to see, please feel free to let me know. The next book that I have coming up is very interesting to me. I actually like the cover of it. I didn't get a chance to read it, but the way they formatted it, I think it was really cool, because it was kind of like taking something from the Bible and making it more modern. And this one is called More Email from God for Teens by Claire Cloninger and Kurt. So they must be like a married couple maybe. And there's no writing or nothing in it, but look how cool these pages are. They made it to like I'll give you an example. one of them says, you shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. It says, say what? And then it's got the scripture. And then at the bottom, it says like Deuteronomy 5:11. Then it says, dear child, there are lots of ways to misuse my name besides tacking a cuss word onto the end of it. If you say God told me to go to the mall, but I never told you that. You just misused my name if you say God doesn't mind if I smoke. I never told you that. You just used my name again. Like, they turned it into email stories. And I think it's cute. It's a really cute format how they did this book. And this was in the year 2000. It says, you got more email. Quick, check your inbox is filled with more email from God. Here's your chance to log on to God's heart and mind about real everyday issues all teens face. God is real. He's alive and available 24/7. He knows your name and he loves you. His words will give you... Okay, what fell? I don't know what that was. His words will give you the guidance and assurance to help you tackle life's challenges and tough decisions with confidence. But you'll feel loved and appreciated, important and unique and significant and understood. Get online with God today and experience his awesome love. And an email from God is just what you need to keep your life on track. This was originally $12.99. And see, I got it for $3. So I sell my books cheap, but I think that book's cute. I just like the look of it. Maybe it's because of the green. I like green too. So there's that one. Mrs. Crabtree. I think my daughter had a teacher with that name. That's too funny. Hey, JK Treasures. Don't know who's in here still, but hello. If you're interested in wanting to see anything, feel free to let me know. I don't go in any specific order. I just go down the list until somebody says, hey, yo, can I see this book? Can I see this book? And I will show it to you. Okay. So the next one is Introduction to Reformed Tradition by John H. Leth. It's got some foxing on the pages. And this is 1981, at least on the outer pages, not the inner. A concise, readable study for laypersons and clergy alike. Indispensable for all informed people of many different confessional communities. With the passion of one who not only deserves but believes his noted authority touches on all aspects of Reformed history, theology, polity, liturgy, and Christian culture with a balance of enthusiasm and critical judgment, which always rings true. So that's the topic. You get the Reformed tradition. Let me see, I got it pinned. Speaker for the Dead by Orson, when you have a chance. Okay. Pretty Gord. Would you care if I made you moderator? Yep. I'm going to do it anyways. It's all right. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. It happens. We're busy people. So let's see here. 870. Yes. You are finding the sci-fi. Yep. Are you a sci-fi person? You know, I have a neighbor up the road from me who came to a yard sale, And he was asking me about my sci-fi, and I told him it's mixed with action and suspense because sometimes it's hard to tell which is which. Because my action and suspense is actually just things that keeps you on the edge of your seat, like military, explosions, mystery. So I just put them all together. So this is what it looks like. So you see, there's a little messed up pages right there. I think the last person had it for $1.95, but I have $1 on it. So, and this is got somewhere. But it's not that bad. I mean, at least the coloring's pretty decent on these ones. On this one. Okay. So we will run it. So did you buy anything? Did you spend a bunch of money? It's all right, Prinny. Because I know my neighbor, he was supposed to come in here and check on my sci-fi, but I don't know if he ever did. I don't know if what his screen name is or nothing. Did you see that picture I sent you? It was so hysterical. I actually print screened it and then I sent it. I actually sent it. Thank you, Yeplep. I sent it to the guy that owns the company. Oh my gosh. And somebody dared him to wear it on his head the whole time he was selling. And I was dying. But I swear you guys should make a scrapbook. You all should make a scrapbook of these funny moments on Whatnot. So I sent them the clip and a message. And I said, add this to a Whatnot scrapbook. I think it would be hysterical. I think you would have the talent to do it. If you took one of the journals that you made and you took the pictures that I sent Pingy, yes, and glue them in, you would have an amazing Whatnot scrapbook. Especially when Ron had his hair in that mohawk. And he had lights. Oh my gosh, that was hysterical. I think you should, especially since you all met in person and you guys all know each other. I think that's a cool idea. I know we have a lady on YouTube, it's real shy. And I went into, there's a truck driver I follow on YouTube, and he was saying, well, Tammy never shows her face. I said, I used to. I used to show my face all the time on YouTube. I said, but when you're crafting and when you're cooking and when you're selling books, it's kind of hard to hold everything up all the time. Because I've seen jewelry sellers even struggle where they've had the little necklines and, you know what I mean? And it's not that I don't want to show my face. It's just what I do, I don't need to. I make it about the object, not me. But it was just so funny because she was all shy. So I have two of these. This is Revolution and World Missions. They're pretty much in the same condition. And this is from 2006. And it says, revolutionize your life, a challenge from the heart. Do you long to let go of self-centeredness and be more eternally minded? Do you desire to make a difference? Mine should say, can you stop shopping on Whatnot? Probably not. But anyways, do you desire to make a difference in the lost world, but aren't sure how to go about it? Based on the testimony of thousands who have read Revolution and World Missions, this gripping message can radically change your life. In this exciting and fast-moving narrative, KP Yohanan shares how God brought him from remote Indian village to become the founder of Gospel for Asia. Drawing from fascinating true stories and eye-opening statistics, KP challenges Christians to examine and change their lifestyles and views of millions who have never heard the gospel. Gospel for Asia has more than 14,000 national missionaries in the heart of 1040 window operators, 54 Bible colleges with more than 8,000 students, and heads up a church planting movement that pioneers an average of 12 new fellowships every year. So I have 2 of these if anybody's interested in these. Thank you. I know. I think Yep Yep bought all my sci-fi. At least Yep Yep knows what to look for. Sometimes I do, because like when I was reading some of these dragon books, reading the back of them, I see a little bit of mythology mixed in. I took classical mythology when I was in high school, and I really enjoyed it. It was very interesting. I loved the movie Clash of the Titans with Harry. What's his name? He was really good. Of course, I love Pegasus anyway, because I think Pegasus is just awesome. Sorry, Prinny, I don't believe in unicorns, but I like Pegasus. My grandkids like Pegasus. I mean, unicorns, but unicorns just never did anything for me. I was never into them. Hazy! There's naughty Hazy. She calls me Sassy Pants. Oh my gosh, you're so funny. But me sassy? When am I ever sassy? I'm never sassy. I'm an angel. Oh, that's too funny. So here is Miracles in Love by Coach Floyd Evney. This book is like really shiny. It is from 1996. Whoever had this kept this in really good condition. Like it doesn't even look like it was ever read. There's not even a crack in the spine. If you have doubts about your faith, and who does at one time or another, then it isn't so that you're reading the cover of this book. Now it is time to read Miracles of Love, all of it or part of it, to see how God has brought comfort, peace of mind, and happiness to many people who were just like you. Coach Floyd Ebby does not give you a sermon in this book, but Coach Ebby will help you, as he has thousands of others, help yourself through a Christian approach to life. He practices beliefs daily, flying his own airplane to cities and villages throughout the country at his own expense, telling how his life has changed through his faith in God and through 4 basic steps that make living sweeter every day. So that looks like a cute read. Never, Hazy, never. I'm an angel. You know, it's funny is when people used to, back in Yahoo chat days, when people used to put the angel in, I would say, at least you use protection, because it looks like a condom on top of your head. But I have to say this. I miss the emojis from Yahoo. I loved the Yahoo emojis. They had the dancing one that would point its finger in the air because they moved. And then they had the one where they crossed their arm and they moved their head side to side like, nuh-uh. You know what I mean? Like their emojis were so adorable. I think it's the one thing I missed about chat more than anything was the emojis. They were adorable. I have always used emojis when I talk. It's a habit. I've done it since I've been online. And I can't tell you how many times I went on YouTube one time and put an emoji in the room and I was blocked. I was like, what? The person didn't like emojis. I go, well, you could have just told me. They had Nightbot block me. And I had no way to tell the guy. See, I got blocked, but oh well. It's like, well, if you don't like my emojis, I don't want to be here anyways. Here's Reach Every One You Teach by Roseanne Engelbreston and Marlene Lefevre with Steve Womberg. Wow, that's some pretty powerful names. There's a mouthful. And this is a 1998. And it says, some kids are feeling left out in their Bible classes. Maybe you've seen their black looks and yawns, telltale signs that they are not connecting with God's word, the most important resource of their spiritual growth and development. Seeing these kids leaving empty-hearted is not only painful for dedicated teachers, it's a tragedy that has eternal consequences. Should we take it for granted that some kids will be missed? No way. It is possible to help all of our students understand and apply the Bible truth. Absolutely. The key to understanding how our students learn, then structuring our teaching so that all types of learners can be successful. So there you go. Reach everyone you teach. Prinny, with your job, sure you don't want to take this with you. You know, I did contact. Don't you leave yet? I'm talking to you, woman. Send a toast. Hello. Are you still in here, Prinny? Okay. I actually called and contacted a few prisons to see if they wanted to accept some of the books I had. And you know, they never talked to me. They never returned my call or my letters when I wrote into the prisons to ask them, because I was going to try to send some books there. And I know how specific they can be. You know, like you don't send romances or anything like, you know, crazy stuff. And I know how particular some of them can be, where they don't even let people use the plastic and pens. They have to literally write with the teeny tiny inks because of they could turn them into weapons. You know what really blew my mind was greeting cards. They do not allow greeting cards with glitter because people can put drugs in the scratch and sniff. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even think of this shit. Thanks, Yep. But yeah, I was like, what? But I mean, coming from a licensed bookstore, I know another bookstore owner not far from me where he did. They allowed him to do, but they never contacted me. Really? But do they still have libraries where they can read, though? Now, I did contact some of the. Oh, you purchased the books, but nobody can donate them even if you went through them? You couldn't take any in yourself? Because I know, that's crazy. That is so crazy. That is nuts. I mean, they've even gotten stricter then. Because I think one of them was in Florida that I contacted and asked if they wanted to take books, and they never answered. Oh my God. That's terrible. That is terrible. That is so terrible. I would never, that's awful. Yeah. I knew some things, but I didn't know so many details like that. That's nuts. This one here is called Plunge. It's a student edition, but it's a leader's guide by Max Lucado. It's crazy. 2004. I knew that let's just say we have one jail here that's lenient. Too lenient. And sometimes you would see people hugging, which it's weird how they wouldn't let the parents touch them, but a girlfriend could hug them, and then you saw plastic being dropped into where they cuffed the bottom of their pants up. And they actually had let them wear a belt where they crushed pills and stuck it into a part of the belt that they didn't even think to check. And they call it like a pajama party place because you don't get nowhere in this place. It's like a revolving door. But it's when they send them away to like an all-female prison or all-male prison, that's when they really find strictness and rules. But we have one place I know of that's just, they're just so lenient, it's ridiculous. Oh, I bet. You probably could rate a book. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, I see they've gotten stricter just by listening to you, but that is nuts. That's so nuts. Alrighty, you have sweet dreams. Love you too. And you take care of yourself. And I hope you're always on guard in your line of work. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. All right, 2004 Plunge Leader's Guide. There's some marker on the inside of the cover. I made a note. Sometimes I'll make little, this is my little cheat sheet. This is, are the teens in your life spiritually dry and drained? Are they thirsting for more than what this life can offer? Well, let them know that they should thirst no more. God wants to refresh them, replenish them, quench their thirst. Plunge. Leader's Guide offers opportunity to lead teens to the living waters by providing the instruction you need to take the plunge and experience the well. All lessons include the following features: answers to the plunge study guide questions, these options for opening activities at the pool, outdoors or indoors, in-depth discussion questions to move from games to growth, scripture verses for deeper study, space for journaling your thoughts. At the pool in your church, dive in. That's a cute name. Plunge. Okay. Let's see here. So we'll run this one. And this is my last religious book of the day. Well, at least now I know who to hit up for my sci-fi. You don't happen to be my neighbor, yep. Like I said, he said he was going to come to Whatnot, but I'm not sure if he did or not. And if he would, I wouldn't know because I wouldn't know what his ID is because he never said. And I forgot to ask him his name. I don't know. He could even be on my Facebook. I forgot to ask him his name in case he did come here. Well, I'm in West Virginia too. But we met face to face when we had the community yard sale. So you would remember we met face to face. But he came to the community yard sale and he was telling me about it because I think he was doing something where he was creating a website, maybe for people local to do businesses. And we had a talk in my garage. But he was looking for sci-fi, and the only books I had out at that moment, I didn't have any because I was just beginning to sell here. And I only had, I think, a couple for Father's Day. I think it was a couple racing under my sports. That's all I had. And I had a greeting card section set up with Father's Day cards. But I told him I was selling on Whatnot, and he said, well, maybe I'll come to Whatnot and check out your store. But I don't know if he did or not because I don't know what his screen name is if he would. But we had a nice talk about books and stuff. And I don't know if he was trying to start his own business to hook up people with the web. I don't know what his plans were because we were so busy that day. We had a lot of traffic in and out for the community yard sale. My daughter was helping me sell them, and I had my granddaughters in the garage with me too. Oops. But I don't exactly know what all the sci-fi books look like. I have an idea on what some of them are. But like I said, when I read them, I do mine to where the action and suspense is mixed together. Because when I started my bookstore, I had a guy come in from Pittsburgh. And he said he liked the way I had it set up because We have some people who are elders up the road here, and they were telling me that they get overwhelmed. You know, back in the day, they only saw like 5 cough medicines, and now you're standing in the aisle looking for through tons. Like, you know, if you look at Walmart cough medicine section, it's huge. And I wanted to simplify it. So when I opened my store, I had real military separated from military. I made up an inspirational section because I thought that would be cool for the Chicken Soup of the Souls and the Amish books, because the Amish romance books aren't like our romance. There's no naughtiness in them. So I wanted an inspirational kind of a family, more of a family section. And then I took autobiography, self-help, educational books, and all that, and mixed it into one, because it was too, I just can't be a library and have all these subcategories, because it's overwhelming to so many people, and it even overwhelms me at my age. I'll never forget the first time I walked into an office supply store. I was like, where do you begin? Because there's so many aisles of paper, and it's crazy because it is overwhelming to some people. So I wanted to make it, and you know, like my store, when you walked into the door and you go into the door, I had the children's section on a table right here in crates, the different color crates you get in Walmart, so they could flip through the books this way. It sat straight down in the crate. Then there's a bookshelf, and then, you know, and then it went in a circle, because in the center I had two, and these were a pain in the butt to put together, and they were expensive, was cardboard greeting card containers. And I actually went in my art program and created, like, I put like rattles and stuff that were, you know, babyish colors, and I said, for the, you know, welcome to newborn babies and baby shower cards. And I set them up that way so that when you came into my store, you walked in a circle. It had all the greeting cards here, and the bookshelves were all around on the extended wall. I used to have a video of it on Google, but unfortunately, when they shut down for COVID, they took my pictures and everything away. And I can't find the video I made, so I must have unloaded it from my phone, because sometimes I do that just to keep space. But I kept it simple. You know, there was children's, and then the next one carried, I think there was biblical on top, and then I had some magazines laying on the bottom. Then the next one was young adult, educational books. And then the next little shelf had like a shelf of cookbooks and, you know what I mean, military, and it was just easy. And then the next section where I had all the well, it wasn't educational yet. The educational had everything with it on one shelf mixed together. And then the next shelf had groups of sets, and then it went romance and action and suspense. And then that's it. Like there was no other, so that they could walk in a circle and see everything at once. Like it just was easy. And this guy said, yeah, but he told me, he's, as a business perspective, he told me the way you mixed it together, you were making people look at things they wouldn't normally look at, having the self-help and the educational, because to me it is educational. You know, if you have a self-help book because you're looking for, I don't know, it could be anything, saving your marriage to, you know, how you deal with anxiety. To me, all of that's educational. Autobiographies, all of it. So they're all mixed together. But when I was doing sci-fi, I was like, some I knew because they have like spaceships and stuff involved, but then I'm thinking, but it's drama, because look at Star Trek. I used to watch all that stuff, but to me, it's like they were having galactic battles and everything. To me, it's an action and suspense. So sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between the two. So I put them all together. So my sci-fi people, you better know your business. That's what I told the guy when he was here. You better know sci-fi, because it's mixed with my action and suspense. That's where you're going to find it. because I don't know the authors enough or people to pick out what's what. I just put everything where they're battling it out or who done it. It's all in the same place. My mysteries, action, suspense, they could be military, they could be sci-fi. You just it's just like a box of chocolates. I got a nice mixture. But my bookstore is no longer open. I took the hours off and I was doing curbside for a while because my Facebook people would see that's local and they would drive here and, buy the books off me, but I still counted them as a business. I didn't take money under the table. I still counted it as a business because I wrote receipts. And I just decided to bring it to Whatnot. So here lately, I was talking to one of my friends, Robert, who's on my YouTube, who's on my Facebook, and I told him, sometimes it's nice to have somebody to run ideas off of. My husband doesn't know crap about business. He does his own thing. So it's nice to talk to somebody else to get some, input of what to do. Because I didn't want to shut down my store completely, because if I do, I have a license and I also have a business account attached to it. And if I would do that, then I would have to shut down the bank account. And I really don't want to do that because it's attached to my Etsy store. It's attached to everything I do because I wanted to keep it separate because, hackers, if they hack into my business account, good luck to them because they ain't going to get much. But I don't want that trickling into our main bill account because, it's always good to have, if you're shopping online, my best advice, even to my YouTubers, if you're listening over here, hey, CDC, that's who I was just talking about. Hey, Callie. But they're over on my YouTube channel. But anyways, the best advice I could give to people, if you're going to shop online, always have an account that's not attached to your bills. Because if they would freeze it for any reason, because of investigative charges or anything, you're screwed. You know what I mean? You better have something you can shut right down. And I have a cousin that actually lives in Texas and works in internet security. He works for a company, and he always said, if you're going to shop online, use a credit card that you can instantly shut, that's not going to hurt you, or a bank account that you can instantly shut. Because if not, you could, it could really hurt you, because the hackers are getting worse and worse every day. They infiltrate. I know I had one steal my Instagram account. And all I have to say, if you're listening, you're an asshole. Because I can't get my account back. I tried everything, and it won't let me. Hey George, hey Casey, because I still see daily people joining that account, and I have the email attached to it. So, but it won't let me change it because whoever hacked it, they plugged in the second step verification into their phone. So no matter how I try to change it, it won't let me because they get the notification. But anyways, I keep sending an email back to Instagram. Thank you for telling me who's joining my new hacked account so that they can become a victim of the hacker who took it. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, because there's not a damn thing I could do to warn people. And the sad part is right when it happened, and this is information for anybody out there on your social media. When you go to close your Facebook or your Instagram, what do you do to close it? You have to go in, put your password in to close your account. Well, if you can't get into that account, you can't close it. So I even went to Google and said that it was outdated. So, with the information, so they would update it, because I have Tammy's Passions. You can go look at it if you don't believe me. There is Tammy's Passions on Instagram, and there's Tammy's Passions 21. I'm under Tammy's Passions 21 because Tammy's Passions has been hacked. And it sucks because a lot of times When you find out an account is hacked on Instagram, what do you see as a pop-up? Do you want to just block this particular person or every single name of Tammy's Passions in it? It's a mess. Hey, Jen. Oh, it's terrible when you get hacked. You feel so violated. You do. And then the sad part is you have people that trust you. You know, because my account, if you look at it, it has my grandkids' pictures on it and everything. So, you know, you would look at that account and think, oh, here's a grandmother, here's her grandkids. Why wouldn't she be trustable? And the sad part is, there's another friend I made on Whatnot who's in business. She didn't know that my account was hacked, and her account got hacked because she thought she was talking to me and it wasn't me. So she lost her account where her business was. And then that makes me feel awful because she thought it was me. And you know, when you build trust on here, it's really hard when somebody gets hacked because they trust you and it's not even you in your account. And how this person did it wasn't spamming. They weren't doing like, you know, when you're on Facebook and you get like a link or something. What are we doing right now? You know, Jen sells postcards on here. I sell books. Other people sell stuff, clothes, cards. This person hit me in an account of a person I trusted and had been friends with for a long time. And they had hacked this person's account. I didn't know it. And this is how they got me. They said, I'm starting a clothing business up, and I wanted to know if you would actually be there for me for my first show. And even if you can't buy anything, I made a separate link from my original account. This is how they did it. Well, I can't say that I didn't do that because I had a personal account at one time on Facebook, and then I had a business account for my bookstore. I didn't have a page in my Facebook. I had a complete separate email with password for my bookstore from my personal because I was trying to keep them separate. Well, I thought this person was really starting a business because what is Instagram filled with? Whatnot people selling, Instagram people selling. So I clicked on the link like an idiot, thinking it was somebody that I knew, and here it was a hacker. And that's how they did it. It wasn't, and it was weird because it didn't take me to another page. It took me to the original Instagram introduction page. So I told the person, I said, well, that link didn't work because it didn't take me to another account. So what's dumbass me do? I clicked it again. And because I was thinking they were legitimately starting a business. Because most of the time on Instagram, the people you get that are scamming, and they're doing it on Facebook now too. How many accounts have you seen where a man is trying to join your account claiming they were a widower? Or they're a divorcee with a child and they're military. Those are all scammers. It's sad. And I remember one time I seen it one too many on the widower. I go, how many of you men are killing your wives? Because I've seen like 10 widowers this week. Because they're trying to scam women. And the military ones really kill me because we have a weakness for military people, period. Whether you're male or a woman, we like to see our military people covered because they fight for us. So it really kills me that they use those profiles to scam people. But anyways, to make a long story short, I literally sent a picture of my federal driver's license. This is how bad I was pissed off that they took my Instagram. I literally contacted every one of their investors, emailed the owner. I bugged them every day for 30 freaking days. I was to the point where I was about ready to get a lawyer. That's how mad I was. Because they're hurting people. And not only that, I don't like somebody in my account that's got my grandkids' pictures on it. You know what I'm saying? and using that tactic to draw people. And then what's even worse, if you try to instant message people on Instagram to say, hey, my account's hacked. Now, you got to remember, I had almost 3,000 subscribers there. And I would contact them in private messages and say, hey, under Tammy's Passions 21, just letting you know my Tammy's Passions account was hacked. I did it to only so many. And then guess what? They stopped me for breaking community guidelines as a spammer. That I couldn't even warn the people who were on my account because I became a spammer for instant messaging so many people in one day. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I had to call some family and friends and say, hey, my account was hacked so that they would get off of it. And it's dropped down. But the thing that makes me mad is if you type in Tammy's Passions 21, it comes up first. I mean, my name. Let me see if it still does it. Because I did contact Google trying to fix it. Yes. It still comes up on Instagram first. See that? That's what makes me mad. Is if somebody Googles my name, that's what they're going to see. And it's ridiculous. Because I even told the company, shut my account down. You should have the power. Instagram should have the power to take your account down. Let me see here. And I'm not doxing or anything. My name was my YouTube channel. My first and last real name used to be my YouTube channel. So if you see my real name and last name, it's no big deal because my bookstore is in my house. But this is what the hacked account looks like. I did warn enough people. So you'll see Tammy's Passions right there. 400 posts. I knocked it down from 3,000 to 174 followers. I mean, 1,700. Because these people, I tried to message them, but I don't know if they're on there anymore. But at least it's knocked down from where it was to 3,000. So I did save a bunch of people. But that's the hacked one. And then the one I'm on now is the blue flower. So people know. But I did change the links into my profiles to make sure that people are following the real me. That's messed up. It's so messed up that people do that stuff to people. But I can relate. You know, when people say their accounts are hacked, I can relate. And I know here lately, there was a woman who had just posted on her YouTube video. If you guys are listening, even on YouTube, she had over 60,000 subscribers, and she was, I guess they're in the farming community. And somebody sent an email because they've had sponsors before. And when people send emails, they have the YouTube logo, and you have to, you know, do the contract thing and read over what they suggest. And she thought it was YouTube, and it wasn't. That's how good the hackers are getting. They sent her a fake one, and when she clicked in it, she totally lost her channel. She was monetized and everything. So she did a video. I felt so bad for her. My heart broke for her. She showed up at my thumbnails, and I was watching and listening to her story. And I went into her, her comments, and I said, I know your pain. I wasn't monetized, but I know the pain of losing an account, and you feel helpless because you can't do anything. And she said they contacted YouTube and she can't get her account back. They haven't done anything for her. And I think that's awful because it's a lot of work, especially when I know she edited her videos. I don't edit because I want people to see how stupid my bloopers are. But she edited it, really worked on her channel, and she lost it all. And she was crying in her video. I felt so sorry for her. She says, if people only knew the time, and I go, I get it. I don't even edit, and I know the time because I have thousands of videos on my channel. And I do have two. My channels are Tammy's Passions and My Crafty Styles. And for people who, you know, are on Whatnot and you don't, this is my YouTube channel. And I have 1,800 and something videos. You know how much time that took me to do that, even without edits? That's a lot. So, and I never got that channel monetized because I don't want it monetized. And then YouTube, or when Google bought YouTube, they tried to brand my account and I refused it. Well, I had to do a recovery. And now my channel's messed up. Like, I can't subscribe to anybody on Tammy's Passions, but I can on my Crafty Styles. I screwed that whole channel up by refusing the brand. I don't want that channel branded. I created Tammy's Passions because it's my interest. And it was my bookstore to promote. It had nothing to do with being monetized. I mean, could you see people walking down the street carrying, you know, wearing a t-shirt called Tammy's Passions? Because I can't. But my Crafty Styles, I could. So I said, if my Crafty Styles gets monetized, I'm okay, because it's more of a how-to channel and I want to teach on it. But Tammy's Passions is all over the place. I sell books on it. I do Whatnot unboxings on it. It's just, I don't even follow the YouTube algorithm on that channel. And it was meant to be a tool to promote my bookstore. It was never meant to be monetized. And it's almost got, I was on my way to 3,000 subscribers, and when I messed it up, it's like people will join and then they fall back off. So I don't know. And then it won't let me comment. I try to comment to people and it disappears. So that channel is really messed up right now. But I can still stream on it, guys, over here. My friends can still see my lives and stuff, and I can go watch their videos. But I commented on somebody's video earlier today, and I went and looked at it, it was gone. So I don't know what they're doing. It's like they're eating my comments. But anyways, if there's any books anybody wants to see, please feel free to let me know. But that's my rant on being hacked, and I feel sorry for anybody that goes through it because it's not fun. So I hope that more people come up with better protection, because it's definitely not fun. And if you're not interested in books, but you still want to help me reach 1K sales, I have a picture of my dog. I want to show you guys on YouTube too, that if you happen to come over here and you spend $1, I have 872 left, you get something free. It could be stickers, it could be postcards, just whatever I decide to send. But it'll be a surprise. And every sale helps to get the 1K. And the reason why we want 1,000 sales is because we have to wait till people get our orders before we get paid. And this way we get paid automatically. That's the difference. But just to let you all know, that road to 1K sale is there, and I need 872 more sales to make it to my 1K. So there you go, my YouTube buddies. If you don't like books, and all the money that I make from this goes into her treats. Her treats cost me $10 a bag. So by the time I make the money off of it, it goes into her treats. And hello there, hippie chick. Welcome, welcome. So I want people to know that option's there if you want to help a chick out. You don't have to, no obligation, but just letting you know. That if you want to, that's another way you can help me with sales. Because I know not everybody's a book reader. And I got to force stop my app because it died again. And restart my sale. come in here. Okay. So what I'm going to do after my rant is I'm going to put this down here. And I could rerun some of the action and suspense books if anybody's interested. These here, because I know some people like those. This is the Colonization Aftershocks. If you want to know what the books are about, feel free to ask me and I'll read the synopsises again. Let me find here. And this is actually I think this was book 3. And this is the condition the book is in. And I will run it. Well, hello, maybe so. Welcome back. What? Yep. Hey, Alma Whittimer. How do you say that? What kind of dog do you have? That's funny. Hey, Candace. Aw, I have a part Staffordshire Bull Terrier and part Lab. She's so cute. She's my baby. When the kids leave home, she became my new kid. And she stuck with me till she goes. The only thing she doesn't like is my singing. You should see her face. It's hysterical. She's like, Mom, shh. But then I sing out of tune on purpose, making up songs about her. She's so funny. I don't know why Whatnot keeps adding letters to my vocabulary. They are a riot, though. But you know, I was really blessed with my dog because she was never really hyper. Hey, Clay. She's kind of a medium. One time I left. I think the only thing she ever tore up was I think I had like 4 paper towels left on it and she had it in pieces and there was a video that I posted. I can't remember if I put it on TikTok or YouTube, but I was going, what did you do? You should have seen her face. She's like, I didn't do nothing. Her face looked so innocent. It was hysterical. And somebody says, don't yell at her. I said, I'm not yelling at her. I was asking her what she did just to get a guilty look off of her. It was so funny. I had a friend that had a Samoyed Husky, and she would act up. And she would say, Keisha, you're going to the basement. And she would run underneath the table and hide. She knew what that basement word meant. It was so funny. Animals are smart. But the longest animals I ever had was 2 cats. Oh my God. 2 couches. That's hysterical. I had 2 cats that lived to be 21 and 22 years old, and they were sisters from the same litter. And it was funny because I signed up for this website where you could get like free stuff. They didn't even have their ages on the drop down. It went up to like 15 or 16 and the ages didn't go past that. That's how long I had them. I did a memory book of them here. This is what I did. This is when they were kittens. It was Hope and Heather. And I made a memory journal with them in it. Oh my God, I miss them so much. Heather had a pure black chest, and Hope had a little white dot. But they were the brothers that came out were Siamese. They had the gray and the blue eyes with the tinted ears, and all the females came out black. But oh my God, I love them cats. So I went online and decided to do a memory book, and I turned it into Halloween, and then I went into fall, but I posted pictures of them. And Hope used to lay upside down on our staircase, and oh my gosh, she was so funny. She posed for this one picture, but I want to start a memory book for Roni. I call her Roni. I'll sing songs and call her Roni Pepperoni. Roni Baloney. She's got so many names. My Tootsie Roll, she just looks at me like, Mom, shh. Look at that pose. Tell me that cat is not posing. She loved bandanas. She was so cute. But I added a bunch of different stuff in here. I still got some more pictures to add of them in here. Look at this. This is what she would do on the staircase. She would go up and roll over and stick her head and look at you upside down. She was so adorable. Hope loved everybody, but Heather, oh, she would bite you. She was mean. She wouldn't bite you hard. She would bite you like she's defleeing you. But I love this memory book. This was a book that was falling apart. You could tell it's even dry rotted. And I turned it into a journal. Into my Hopi. It was hard losing both of them. But this is when we got Roni. And I kept her from him for a little bit because she was rambunctious as a puppy. And then I finally brought him together when she got a little older, because they were old, and she's like getting her down with her butt in the air like she's gonna, wanting to play with them. And they're looking at her like, I don't think so. But they became friends later. And I have a video posted of Roni actually cleaning Hope. It was cute. She was licking her back. That's my Hopa. She was my favorite. I love Heather too, but Heather was she was mean. That's Heather. Look at those eyeballs. She reminded me of the Shiba cat, but she was the type you couldn't pick her up and get affection. She would have to come to you. And look at her on that Pillow Pet. I wanted to send that picture to Pillow Pet and say, not just kids. My cat likes this dog too. Let's hope. But Heather, yeah, she would scratch you if you tried to pick her up. She had to come to you herself. She was my husband's cat. She would cuddle my hubby all the time. He was always surrounded. But Hope was hysterical. Look at this picture where she's cuddled. Hope would come up to you if she wanted your attention, and she would lay on your chest and just softly, without her nails out, smack you in the face when you wake up to give her attention. She was funny. But I miss them. They were good kitty cats. Definitely good girls. So I got a journal that I bought off of somebody on Etsy that I know on YouTube, and I'm going to do one. It's a little one. I want to do one of Roni. But I can't wait to get back into journal making one of these days. Hey, Foss 911, welcome back. If you're still in here, I can't tell who leaves. I can only see you when you come in. The only other action suspenses I have is the Aftershock Colonization one, which is a series. I have Tier 1 Wild. These are in good condition because they're newer. William Johnson seems popular. I like Tom Clancy. I think Tom Clancy writes good books. Promise the Earth, 7 Days in May, Dead of Night, Iris Johansson, The Rainmaker, and Houses of Stone. So all I have left in the action and suspense tonight. This on the side. Hey, the dude Ray. Welcome in. What kind of books do you look for? If you have anything specific you want to see, let me know. And the auction. And I don't really have anything left to run. They have all been ran. And if you want anything in the buy it now, then I can pull it for next sale and show you if you're interested. Stretch my legs out. I'll take in, I'll let that one run again. Tier 1 Wild. So I have something to run. Hey, Lionel Christopher. Any books in the auction you want to see, feel free to let me know. I'm not running in any specific order. Oh, just go straight until somebody makes a request. Oh, God, I gotta stretch my leg out. I need to add more books to my auction, I think. So I have a longer time to run items. I think my toe's numb. But I definitely have a lot of books in there. And they will be running live, even when I'm not live. So people can shop 24/7 now that I figured out the setting to change it. If we get a couple more people in here, I can actually do a raid. I don't know if Jen heard me say hello or not. Welcome in. It's weird how I can see people on my laptop but not my phone. Hey, Caitlin. Welcome, welcome. Anyone want to stick around and help me do a raid? I was trying to figure out who was on to raid. See if I can get Charity in here. Who's on? Oh, it's cool and common. I don't know who all's in here with me. I gotta restart my whatnot because it won't let me show who's joining. So I gotta stop it for a second. I know Designer Unlimited is on. Jeez, Let's do. Let's see here. Oh, they're running the mystery game. Well, crap. Okay, let me get back in here. Somebody in here that's looking at the books. I don't want to leave if you're looking at the books. I feel bad. Because I know if I ask you and then you stop, you're going to lose your place. Hey, Jody. Welcome in. Hey, sports card collector. Welcome in. I only have one sport card. Oh, okay, you're here. Okay, I'm making sure. Um, what part of West Virginia are you in, Yep? The only sports card I have is hockey. I don't know. Grafton, huh? You're not that far from me. You're only like an hour and 50 minutes. I'm above Wheeling. That's too funny. I actually went to college in Wheeling and I was born in Wheeling. Yeah, there was somebody I met on YouTube today that was like around Morgantown area. That's interesting. Ah, well, how'd the game go? You know, the one game that I wish I could see, I would love to see a live hockey game. That would be a lot of fun. I mean, any sports game would really be fun, but I always wanted to go to a live hockey. I know I was talking to a few sellers on here that sell sports stuff and they have a really hard time selling hockey stuff. I said, that's sad. But I do know that Canadians don't have that problem. I met a Canadian hockey seller on here and he does really well. Well, that sounds like fun. Welcome back, Chuck. I've been to Louisville, Kentucky before. You know what's funny though is I was taking care of this lady that had cancer, and I'll never forget. It was so sad because I had never really been into watching college football. You know, like pro football is so disciplined, but college football is absolutely hysterical because they're not so professional yet. You know what I mean? Like they make mistakes. And so she went to Ohio State and she wanted Ohio State to win so bad. And I guess they hadn't won it at the time, they hadn't won a championship for a while. Because this was a few years ago when they actually first won a championship in years. And I told her, I said, well, I bought a t shirt for her and a salt and pepper shaker and put it on her table. And I said, if Ohio State wins, you got to wear this shirt. And her daughters would come in. She didn't think they were going to win, and she was so ecstatic. Everybody else was against Ohio State winning, but I'll tell you what, it made one cancer lady very happy. And when I made the comment about I was glad Ohio State won, somebody's like, that's just so mean. I go, no, it isn't, because watching her face when that team won was everything because she died after. So to give one person one wish, just to see one wish happen before they pass away, to me is amazing. And she got her wish. And she did have that shirt on. She put the shirt because her daughters, I came into work that day and her daughter says, yep, she gave you her word. She'd wear it. She's so happy they won. But she made me sit there when I was taking care of her and I watched college football with her every time I was there. And it was just really cool because I had never watched college football. I know, isn't it awesome when something like that happens? So I was really happy that she got her wish. I think Charity and Jen's busy. Jen popped in, but I don't know if she heard me. Help me raid. I want to read Jared, but I want to get people in here to help me. What all sections do you like hanging in on here? You have got to see this game. If you haven't seen this game, I was I'm not much of a fashionista person. Just saying. Most of my purses and stuff came from yard sales or thrifting or my mother's hand-me-downs. I have to like a purse. I was never into like brands. Well, Izzy, I met her on here. She took me on a raid one night. And let me tell you what, I am so addicted to some of these channels. It's crazy just watching. There's a guy on here. I don't know if you know who he is. He goes by Keith It Classy. So to keep it classy, it's Keith It Classy. But all I know is you got to be on here really late to catch his shows. And I will tell you, if you get the chance and you were on here Sunday, check this guy out late Sunday night. He's from Hawaii. And their time zone, of course, in California is a little different than us, but because they come on late at night. But I'm telling you, Sunday is going to be so much fun because, hey, Renee, the Office Funko is friends with Keith, and they're friends on here, and they're going to be in person on Sunday. I don't know if it's going to be on Funko's channel or Keith's channel, but they're going to do a bunch of fundraisers because he's celebrating his 50,000 subscribers, and he's having a bunch of giveaways. Hey, if I'm just saying, the other channel, I don't know what channel they're going to be on. I think it might be Keith's because I think I have it bookmarked. But I'm going to put his name in here. Go in here, and like I said, if you get the chance and you like watching crazy shows, this is a place to go. I hope he don't come in here because I tagged him. But click on Keith It Classy, bookmark his show for Sunday. You guys will not be disappointed. And like I said, my friend Izzy invited me to his stream. They play this game that is so amazing, and the trolls are hysterical that come in there because they have no clue the way he plays the game. I literally watched this man make $47,000 in one night. I kid you not. He's got a machine in the back. It's filled with balls and they move like a bingo ball machine. And the people that don't catch the concept, they don't understand why he does it the way he does it. They'll bid like $200, $300 on these balls and they come up blank. And he'll sit there and say, all you get's a bag of popcorn. It's a Hawaiian popcorn. It's a $20 bag, and it is delicious. I have never eaten such popcorn in my life because I actually bought one, not from him, from eBay, because I can't afford his balls that he does. But he does it to where he has all high-end purses. You have to understand the whole concept of the game. He'll have like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, every high end. We're not talking medium, we're talking high end. Tiffany necklaces, some 18 karat gold. I mean, this guy is booming with high fashion. But how he plays the game is if you buy more than 3 of the balls that are blank, he will still set you up with high fashion. That's why people keep coming back to his stream. But the purse is, he shows them all what you can win, and then he draws the balls, and the balls have the names on them. But like I said, you got to watch the game to understand how he does it, because a first time buyer, like say you, yep, you know, you win a ball for like $100 and you win a $14,000 Louis Vuitton, it's worth it. And then you'll see some people bid like crazy and don't win nothing. Like it goes blank, 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 and then found, but he will set you up with something. He's not going to let you spend a bunch of money and walk away with nothing. Hey, Jupiter. But I mean, I can't wait to this Sunday to see how this is going to go because it is a lot of fun. And they do giveaways on brand new iPads. They did um PlayStation 5. They did pricey earpods, tennis shoes. I've seen Funko do, I mean, brand new tennis. You wouldn't believe the giveaways these people do. They're the most givingest people I've ever seen. And the trolls are like coming in and they don't know the concept and they're like, why are you spending all this money? Blah, 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 blah. When people are starving, it's like people are going to spend their money how they're going to spend their money, whether they're starving people or not. You know, there's people going out every day buying Lamborghinis, Camaros, and everything else. You know what I mean? You could say that too. Why not have a practical car? You can't tell people how to spend their money. But it's just funny. It's fun to watch these games. Like it's just to sit back and when they get competitive, it's hysterical when they go after stuff. So it's going to be fun Sunday. But I recommend it just to try it one time. But anyways, there's another one going on right now similar to what Keith does, except Keith, he has a machine that actually makes the balls move. So where we're going to raid, they're doing it in a gumball machine. You still with me, Yep? Are you ready? Whoever's in here, you ready to come with me on a raid? I'm going to take you into limited luxury because they do the same thing with the same concept. Who else is in here? I see a third person. I don't know if they're looking at books. But it's crazy. Yep, it's crazy. And one night I kept trying to win a ball because sometimes they go lower. And I was trying to win one for like 100. Oh, sorry, Jupiter. I'll let you go back to look. And just tell me when you're done. And then you could raid with me, with us. We're gonna go raid somebody. But go ahead. Okay. So anyways, yep, I actually got a ball. I kept trying to, and Funko kept blocking me. So he turned around and the 3 balls he ran in a row, he said, if there's a prize on, just, he said, give so-and-so a ball, and he named somebody, and he said, give so, and then he picked my name last. And I was like, what? Because he bought the balls. Well, I ended up winning a really cute scarf and beanie hat. It's really nice because this stuff comes from California. But anyways, it was crazy because I couldn't believe he'd give that to me. And then I won another one. Like I won a ball and then he kept blocking me from winning and won another one and gifted it. So I ended up with 2 sets and they're really nice. I'm going to do an unboxing. Well, thank you, Jupiter. But I mean, I don't want to rush you. But they will be live. It will be live. I mean, if you want to make a purchase, go ahead. It's up to you. But if you want to check it out later, we're fine. But I'm going to take you to Jared, and they're running a different one right now. So we're going to do a raid. So let me pull it up here. See if I got his name right. See if I get, because they just started another new channel last night. Why isn't it coming up? It's not coming up for some reason. Hold on. Let me make sure I got the name right. Don't move. Just let me check because I don't want to take us to the wrong person. Come on, where are you at? Because I know they're on because I just saw their sale. Oh, They better be on. Where'd they go? Oh, don't tell me the show's over. I'll be so mad. Oh, here it is. I was going to say. Okay. I got it. Come on. Okay, here we go. Read. That's designer underscore. Yeah, here we go. Are you ready? Thanks for coming. Thanks for your purchases. And I'll see you